Accountability Series. That platform has been created for ministers to account for their stewardship. You heard the Roads Minister giving account for what has happened under his stewardship since he took office some months ago. Time now for Citi Prime News, which is live from our studios at Adabraka here in Accra. Charles Osukume. Coming up in the bulletin, immigration officers at Kuzaka International Airport block embattled former Chief Executive of Minerals Income Investment Fund, Nana Yao Kranting, from leaving the country after failing to seek clearance from the special prosecutor. Also in the bulletin, Ghana Education Service to make special arrangements for candidates for upcoming West African Senior School Certificate examination in the Boku Enclave as recent violence disrupts academic activities.
But it is extremely disturbing, almost suspending the academic calendar in these affected schools and towns. If we monitor the situation, we realize that it's still not safe or sound for the learners to write the WASI. You will consider alternative examination centers.
Also in the bulletin, police on a manhunt for persons who invaded offices of the Forestry Commission in parts of the Ashanti region. All that and more coming up on the Citi Prime News, which is also live in the Western region on Premier 100.5 FM, Beach 105.5 FM, and Sky 93.5 FM, all in Takrady. In the Bono region, we're live on J Live 95.5 FM in Sunyai. In the Ashanti region, we're on Orange FM 107.9 in Kumasi. And in the Volta region, we're on both Global 105.1 FM in Ho and Adanu 107.5 FM in Adakuluwaya.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connect you to the newsmakers.
Grateful to you for your time here on the Citi Prime News. Let's now begin the bulletin. And the former Chief Executive Officer of the Minerals Income Investment Fund, Edward Nana Yao Kranting, was stopped at Kotaka International Airport yesterday from boarding an international flight. Nana Yao Kranting, who is under investigation by the Office of the Special Prosecutor, is currently on inquiry bail. However, he reportedly attempted to leave the country without the necessary clearance from the Special Prosecutor. Immigration officers at the airport flagged the travel attempt after his name triggered a red alert on the national stopped list. Sources say the Ghana Immigration Service promptly informed the Special Prosecutor, which has since taken Nana Yao Kranting into custody for further questioning. Away from that, the Ghana Education Service says it is taking concrete steps to ensure that 2025 West African Senior School Certificate examination candidates in the Boku Enclave are able to sit for the exams next week, even if violence in the area persists. This comes in the wake of heightened tensions following the recent killings of students at Nalerugu Senior High and Boku Technical School, incidents believed to be linked to the ongoing Boku conflict. Speaking to Citi News, the GES Public Relations Officer Daniel Fenyu said the service is implementing stringent safety measures and exploring alternatives to help continuing students recover lost academic hours.
But it is extremely disturbing, extremely, almost suspending the academic calendar in these affected schools and towns. If we monitor the situation, we realize that it's still not safe or sound for the learners to write the WASI on the campus. Then we will consider alternative examination centers where we believe the conditions are fair and sound and conducive for examination for our students. So at the moment, we are strongly in touch with the security agencies and all stakeholders who matter in this situation to take their expert views and opinion on how best we can control the situation. However, we can assure parents, we can assure the general public that all the lessons lost, we would make sure that we recoup the lessons lost. So we are thinking of, and this is for the Form 1 and the Form 2, so we are thinking of when they come back to school, possibly extending their contact hours so that they make up for the lost lessons. We are also looking at exploring if internet access is strong, if the students themselves will be okay, the teachers have access to internet. We may also consider online alternatives.
You had Public Relations Officer of the Ghana Education Service, Daniel Fenyu. Still on Boku-related news, the Ministry of Health says it is working to address requests from health workers in Boku who wish to leave the area due to safety concerns. This follows renewed violence in Boku and surrounding communities. On speaking to Citi News, the ministry's spokesperson, Tony Goodman, says discussions are ongoing with security agencies to assess the situation. He adds that while there are no plans to shut down hospitals in the area, efforts are being made to determine the necessary support for health staff who choose to stay.
The health workers, like any other citizen in Boko, currently being given some security. We are currently commencing our talks with the security agencies to see what advice may come up from there. Yes, we've also gotten an indication that some of them want to leave the region. That is currently being handled by the Ghana Health Service. We are expecting, waiting for some responses from the Ghana Health Service in this regard. So for us, we are just looking at all persons who want to leave, who have indicated that they want to leave. That is what we are looking at for. Don't also forget that healthcare, regardless of what circumstances there is, healthcare will have to continue. So we are not looking at shutting down a hospital in that region or that locality. We are making sure that if maybe you are not comfortable with the environment, we assess and we feel that we have to move you. That will be done.
That was the spokesperson for the Ministry of Health, Tony Goodman. Let's still stay with Boku because security analyst Colonel Festus Abuaji, retired, says the Ghana Armed Forces' decision to transition from peacekeeping to peace enforcement in Boku indicates the need for a higher threshold of force in addressing the conflict. The Ghana Armed Forces explains that the shift follows the activities of armed elements which have intermittently sparked violence, reprisals, and the loss of innocent lives. Now, speaking on the Citi Breakfast Show, Colonel Festus Abuaji shed more light on the development and called for a balanced approach that combines military action with conflict resolution efforts.
A higher threshold of force is going to be used. It's permissible. Beyond using force in self-defense and in the protection of elements of the task force and other facilities and installations and so on. This force is now prepared. And we saw some of the equipment that are being deployed there, which to me is a bit on the other side. You know, twin-barreled anti-aircraft or anti-tank, whatever it is. Are you going to fight civilians with those kinds of, armaments? But maybe it's to show force and try to intimidate those who are creating trouble in Boku. So we are going to see more of the same things. The curfew already has been enhanced. We are going to see more patrols because there are more human beings in terms of the soldiers. We're going to see more facilities being protected, what we call the static protection duties.
Colonel Festus Abuaji, retired, also described the spillover effects of the Boku conflict in different parts of the country as extremely concerning. He called on the government to invest more intelligent resources in addressing the Boku conflict.
That is extremely concerning. In other words, the geographical area of the conflict has spread, not by creeping inches outside of the Boku jurisdiction or Boku area, but now to anywhere that you have Kusasis and you have Mampusis. And of course, we know that no state in that context will be able to easily detect that some people are around Abobloshi, for instance, or some people in Asawase or some Zongo here, Central region, and so on and so forth, Volta region, are going to be attacked by one party or the other. That has led me to suggest strongly that the government needs to invest more intelligence resources in addressing the Boku conflict. And I think those in the industry will understand what I mean.
You heard Colonel Festus Abuaji, retired. He is a security analyst. Now, away from Boku issues, police in the Ashanti region have launched a manhunt for individuals who stormed and locked up offices of the Forestry Commission in parts of the region. Now, this follows a former complaint by officials of the commission after 3 district offices, Bekwai, Ofinsu South and Nkariye, were forcibly shut down on Monday by persons alleged to be affiliated with the National Democratic Congress. Now, President of the Ghana Institute of Foresters, Dr. Abukari Natogma, Atta, while condemning the incident, is calling on the police to arrest and prosecute those responsible.
Videos and pictures went around. We can identify them. So by now, they should have apprehended everybody, those who were involved, and start prosecuting them. But we are happy that the sector minister came to also condemn this. The National Security Coordinator also came to condemn it. That's a good thing. But you see, if you look at Ayawasu by-election, these were the same people dressed in this same uniform, and they are denying. At Nkawe, Bekwai, and Offenso, these were the same uniform they were wearing. So how do we say that they are not national security operatives? But I want to sound a caution that you see, if the national security operatives can behave this way, tomorrow mercenaries will come, wear the same uniform, and Ghanaians will think that these are our own people. And before we realize, they take over the country.
President of the Ghana Institute of Foresters, Dr. Abukari Natomata. Meanwhile, the affected offices have since been reopened, but staff of the Forestry Commission are calling for heightened police protection to prevent a reoccurrence. Now, the Ashanti Regional Director of the National Road Safety Authority, Kwesi Ajenim, is calling for increased police presence along the Accra-Kumasi Highway to help curb road accidents. His call follows a crash on Monday, July 28, which claimed the lives of about 15 members of the Saviour Church of Ghana. Speaking on Channel 1 TV's Breakfast Daily Show, Kwesi Ajenim said although the Road Safety Authority works closely with the Police, Motor Traffic and Transport Department, there is a need for more urgent and intensified enforcement.
The road traffic system is mixed. So, with the enforcement issue, we talk to the police. So, police entities, they are supposed to do that collaboratively with them. So, as I said, it's been done, but we need to speed it up or shore it up or increase the police presence along those guys.
You heard the Ashanti Regional Road Safety Authority Director, Kwesi Ajenim. And then this edition of the Citi Prime News, which has been live from our studios here in Adabraka in Accra. I am Charles Osukumi. Thank you for listening.
Citi News. We speak first. Reach our hotline on 0302 224959 and get interactive on Facebook.